Good evening, everybody. This is Sam Pierce, alongside my brother, Daniel Mason, and welcome to the Sam and Mason Show, Episode 7. Or is it Daniel and Sam? Or Mason and Sam? What order
Yeah.
go? Mason and Sam or Sam and Mason?
I believe it's Sam and Mason, and I hope it's 7. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it is 7. Yeah, it's 7.
Whatever episode it is, welcome. We are 1 week removed from that historic Monday Night Raw. WWE trying to keep up the momentum, and, it wasn't as good of an episode of Raw as the post-WrestleMania, but nobody should really expect that anyway, you know?
It'd be very hard to top last week.
Yeah.
And they tried to carry over the momentum of the Fandango thing, and that was just a huge fail.
Yeah, that's the thing. The one thing that really stood out from last week's Raw was the Fandangoing in New Jersey. And I think the where WWE went wrong with that is they tried to make it into a thing. It's not going to be special if you make it into a thing.
You know what they wanted it to be, right? They wanted it to be like the Harlem Shake. They wanted that to be the next Harlem Shake. That's what they wanted.
And you saw that the next night at the SmackDown tapings. A few people were doing it, but it wasn't anything special. They tried to do it again at Raw last night, and it was okay, but, it wasn't anything. It didn't stand out. And I really think they should just drop it, because I think it kind of takes away from the focus of the Fandango character. And, just let the fans create their own things. As soon as it becomes part of WWE and part of their direction, the fans aren't into it anymore. They want their own stuff. They don't want to do what you guys want the fans to do, right?
Yeah, it's not special anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel like they do that all the time. It's like they always try to take an
it
idea and it just fails, and they should stop. Anyways, so this week, let's actually talk about this match here. We got Dolph Ziggler versus Zack. Oh my God. Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger.
Wish.
Jack and Zack, same thing. Yeah, that's what it should be. Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger. I'm Ziggler, Sam is Swagger. So
Two former tag team partners going at it.
stop laughing, Rich.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. You love Zack Ryder. Hey, I bought his action figure last week from Target, so there you go.
Actually, I was the reason that his name popped into my mind was because I was on Lords of Pain, lordsofpain.net, best website. Just looking at the Raw results, and some guy posted a comment about the Fandango thing. He's like, somewhere Zack Ryder's sitting backstage laughing about Fandango crashing and burning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was like, yes, thank you, because,
Any
WWE just did not try to capitalize on Fandango, and they didn't hardly even capitalize on Zack Ryder, which pisses me off.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was face too, right? Like Fandango's still technically a heel. Anyway, sidetrack there for a second. We got Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler going at it here. Two former tag team partners managed by Vicky Guerrero, one of the most lovely ladies in the history of professional wrestling.
Finally bringing class back to wrestling.
Grace and elegance to the ringside area and the backstage areas of all the shows. Just she walks into a room, totally brightens up my day. Although she has never walked into a room that I was also in, so just kind of, Anyway.
She wasn't at that hotel you stayed at when you went to SmackDown? You saw Matt Striker?
There, actually, I'm sure I could actually feel her aura emanating from the hotel when I was in Rochester at SmackDown.
The stench should be overwhelming.
Yeah, no, it was a wonderful smell of, just luscious perfumes and overall elegance. And I did, however, happen to physically see Matt Striker after the show. He actually made it back to the hotel before I did after SmackDown, and I left right away. So he was like, "Get me the fuck out of this place." Rochester, no offense. I mean, I love Rochester. I go there, a few times a year, but it's not the most liked place in the world, I guess. When I cross the border, they say, "Where you go?" And me and my dad say Rochester. They go, "Why?" Like, why?
Why would you go there?
They think we're up to something because no one goes to fucking Rochester.
Right, I'm gonna need you to pop your trunk, sir. Gotta check for drugs here.
It's like, I'm not bringing anything over, but regardless. So as we know, Dolph Ziggler cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase last week. Swagger losing 2 nights in a row to Del Rio. Tapping out to his arm breaker both at WrestleMania and the following night on Raw in New Jersey. So it looked as though Swagger's DUI charge ended all world title hopes for him. I think it has. I think this match right here between Swagger and Ziggler on last night's Raw was a setup for a triple threat match at Extreme Rules. I think Del Rio has faced Ziggler in so many singles matches in the past that having them on a pay-per-view matchup, while I'm sure it'd be a great match, and it's not something I would hate to see, triple threat is more intriguing here. And after Swagger picked up the win in the real-life version of Raw last night, it looks as though that triple threat was indeed what they're building towards in a few weeks at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, I'd definitely be looking forward to that match. Anything involving Ziggler and Swagger is going to be great. Obviously, from our Fast episodes, I'm not too fond of Alberto Del Rio,
No.
but yeah, I'm really happy, to see these two sort of in the same fight, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I think I'm not sure how good it looks for Ziggler losing that match to Swagger last night. Of course, from a traditional build-up standpoint, you wouldn't want your new champion to lose matches like that, especially guys like Swagger who have been losing left and right, since post WrestleMania.
Even Ziggler loses a lot, though.
Yeah, he does.
Both of them.
Yeah, they both do. They don't want them to be overpowering characters.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it was just one match that Ziggler lost last night, but you're saying.
He got pinned at Mania.
Yeah, that's true.
Why don't?
I mean, like since he won the belt, I mean, just
Yeah. No, but are you seriously putting over Big E over Ziggler? Like that's ridiculous.
He gets pinned a lot too in the tag matches.
It's always been a really surprising thing for me how much Ziggler gets pinned, but that's actually the angle that they're working with here. I read something online that Ziggler was going to be a champion who, lost a lot. He was a champion against, all the odds. He's going to be a champion that loses a lot of matches, gets beaten up by the good guys a lot, but somehow always ends up to come out with the championship.
Do you think that'll turn into a underdog face type deal, and he'll slowly start like overcoming the odds and people will like him more? You think that's where they're going with that?
I think eventually, because of how much heel heat he gets, like not heat, like heel pop, like he's a heel, but the fans cheer for him, right? Which is like the opposite.
Like CM Punk last year. That's what I was comparing.
Exactly. It's the opposite of what WWE really wants, but he's a top heel in the company who gets a big pop from the crowd. And I think, you can capitalize on that. You take the other half of the fans who are the traditional fans who only like the good guys and boo the bad guys, and you turn those into cheers. You've got a big following for a guy like Dolph Ziggler. I think turning him into a face, while I don't like the idea because I love heels and, he is heel Ziggler, I think it's a good opportunity for them to create a really popular character for the fans and take Ziggler to the next level.
Yeah, I really feel like he could be the next CM Punk in a way, not let CM Punk is going anywhere. Although last night on Raw he hugged Heyman and then left. That was kind of funny.
You know what? I think Punk should be written off television for a while, just because. Don't force him into any matches just for the sake of being. He went through everybody in that over 1 year long title reign. He totally depleted the roster. He's got no one left to feud with, really. Like, what are you gonna do? Cena, Punk again for it? No, like nobody wants. I mean, I assume it'd be a great match, but nobody really wants to see it from a storyline.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why I really like what they're doing with Ziggler, what it could turn into. Even though I don't necessarily want Ziggler to be like a babyface or anything, but if they take it the same way they did with Punk, I think it could be really beneficial, and maybe it'll lead to more people recognizing the World Heavyweight title, because I feel like when it's on a guy like Sheamus or Del Rio, it's just kind of like no one really cares, and that could maybe lead up to a Ziggler WWE title reign in the future one day.
I mean, it took way too long for the world title to happen.
And this is like the second time it happened. He's got it, right?
He had it for like a day last time or something.
Yeah, like a week.
A couple small points here. Antonio Cesaro losing the United States Championship to Kofi Kingston last night. This is just a very what's the word I'm looking for here? It occurs very often for Kofi Kingston. He wins a mid-card belt. He holds it for a few months. He loses it to an up-and-coming heel, and then he doesn't do anything for the next few months. And it's just, rinse and repeat pretty much. Hopefully they're moving Cesaro up into a main event position here, and they don't want him to have that mid-card belt anymore. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see for that.
That's typical path for Kofi.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think about that.
Sure.
Kofi Kingston, Antonio Cesaro,
Yeah,
CM
we'll
Punk leaving Raw last night, and finally Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger having a feud with Del Rio involved. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we will see you next.